Welcome to Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I'll be covering every studio song the band has recorded and every bonus track that I can find. Each week we'll go over a new song from the beginning to where they are currently, and as they keep adding albums, I'll keep adding shows. Let the deep dive party begin.
In the magic garden, some were singing, some were dancing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I am your host, Scott Haskin, and this is a fan-based podcast, but endorsed by the band. How cool is that? Really cool. Every time I get to say that, I just get chills because it's such a cool thing. We are here today to talk about the final track on Sweet Freedom, which is really a bonus track. It was recorded and definitely sounds like it's part of the album. It was released on the B-side of Stealin', from what I was able to find. May have appeared in other places, but that's all I'm aware of. But I love this song. From the first time I got a copy of Sweet Freedom that had it on there, and I couldn't tell you exactly when that was, but I just fell in love with the song. It's fantastic. And I could definitely see it being included. I don't know why it wasn't. I believe that there were times in that era of music where record companies would withhold a track and include it as a B-side to maybe boost the sales of the 45, because that's how you did singles back then. You did them on a 45 record, which was a miniature version of an LP. And that's just one of the marketing strategies. So that may have been what happened here. I don't know. But what I do know is that it's a fantastic song, and I love it. I'm so glad that I got to hear it. I would have really been missing out if I hadn't. So for those of you who have never heard it, and for those of you who have, here is Sunshine by Uriah Heep. Here's what frustrates me about this not being included on the original album is because for years, I didn't even know this fantastic song existed. I never got to enjoy it. It's one I thoroughly enjoy. It's one I actually used to be able to sing pretty well in my own mind. I don't know if the actual sound of me singing it was any good or not. But in any case, it's a fantastic song. So opening here, we have a very strong riff, very powerful. Great guitar sound. We've got that, the wah pedal. We've got everything that you would expect for your Uriah Heep opening. Really just powerful right out of the gate. Lots of cymbals. Great sounding. And it really just sucks you in right from the beginning. And that's what a good song should do. Well, not all of them.
Priceless treasure for which I've searched appeared to me nothing more than a mirage in the sea.
This is such a great vocal delivery because it's powerful, it's strong, it's passionate. You really feel the story here. I mean, even though we're just at the beginning of it, you really are just drawn into the passion of it. And this could have been sung so many different ways, but this really works because you've got the powerful opening. The music backs off just a little bit to give some room for the vocal, and then the vocal comes in and just, gives us that power that we were missing, that we would be missing during the verse if it wasn't delivering that way. Just incredible.
But when the vision faded from the struggle and dream, suddenly my illusion is diary. I now discovered what's reality.
I love this change here. I love that it's a little bit different of a structure because we really only had one verse, and then we're doing this change before we go into the chorus. And it's really nice. It's really unexpected. I love the way the vocal is here. I love the way the music feels here in the change. Really cool. This is why I love this song.
Sunshine, 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 I found you. Even if you're only destined for a while. Sunshine, 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 I found you. Even if you're only destined for a while.
Very powerful chorus, not too crazy on the harmonies, really. You would expect like there might be another high harmony above this, but there's not. Just really straightforward, but it sounds really good. It's nicely doubled or tripled here in the chorus, and I really like the sound of it. And then David does a couple lines on his own. But there's some really cool keyboard fills going on in here. There's some great bass playing going on in here. I think we're missing something, though. To me, the mix is a little bit off on this one. I think the drums are a little bit buried. You can still feel the power of the song. You can still feel the push of it moving forward, but I think it might have been served better if there was a little bit more drums in the mix, just to kind of cut through and give it just a little bit more power. Not a huge difference, but just a little more would be nice. Much like I've said, I think on there was another song, I can't think of what it was now. I think it was on this album where I thought that it would be nice to hear the drums push through. And I think there was a second track that did, but I can't think of what it was at the moment. But anyway, it's a really cool part. Love what Ken Hensley's playing through this too. Those fills are really nice. Great song.
I devote most impressions, and I write this with a smile, as the picture book shows Stanley standing at the source of the Nile.
Another nice change, before we get back into the instrumental part again, where there's some good vocals. But this instrumental passage, I love this. It's so powerful. The guitars and the keyboards are really kind of overshadowing everything else a little bit in this mix, but they're so powerful in what they're doing in the strength of it. The distortion on the organ is fantastic. The sound that the guitar is getting here, what it's playing with the wah pedal is just, man, it's just killer. And it's just amazing how you could take something that's simple, because it's not a lot of difficult stuff. It's not a lot of changes as far as like what the instruments are doing. It's pretty straightforward, but it's amazing what you can accomplish just with the sound that you're getting, with the simple stuff that you're playing, that can make all the difference. And as I've often said, it's not always what you do, it's what you don't do. And not overplaying this stuff here, not filling it in with everything you can do, really makes this more powerful to me.
But when the vision faded from the struggle and dream, suddenly my illusionist diary, I now discovered was reality.
That word right there, just the way he sings reality, I love that. That's the part, that was always my favorite part to sing too. And back when I had it on, I think I had it was on CD, and I had to have it in my car, I would always rewind that part and just sing it again and again because it was so much fun. But just, such a smooth transition, so powerful, so passionate. The music is just amazing. It's about to kick up a notch here, but like everything in it is like the music in the instrumental section really brings out that same power and passion that the vocal has. So it's a very even song as far as that goes. A lot of times when you're doing a bridge or a chorus, or you change out, maybe an instrumental passage where there was a vocal, sometimes that balance of intensity and passion can change, from part to part. And sometimes it should. just because not everything is going to be full on driving passion for an entire song. But in this case, it's like, the thing that the singer's feeling, whatever it is that's causing him to sing so powerfully, when he stops singing, the music is like, yeah, man, I feel ya, and just jumps right in and covers it. And it's really rare when you can find a song that really has that kind of balance throughout the whole thing. I think that's one of the things that makes this song is, kind of special to me anyway. Just an intense song that's pretty rare to be done in this way.
Sunshine, 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 I found you. Even if you're only destined for a while. Sunshine, 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 I found you. Even if you're only destined for a while. Sunshine, 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 I found you. Even if you're only destined for a while.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right here for a second because I haven't said anything a while and I can't let that happen. No, I'm just kidding. There's so many things going on here in this part that it's really hard to hear everything just on one listen. So I highly encourage you to listen to the song a few times and try to focus on a different instrument each time. I love the way that the drums are going from, sped up to normal time to double time to normal time. It's a really interesting transition, yet the song doesn't lose that drive at all when it switches back. Also, there's a lot going on in the keyboard world. In the bass world, there's always a lot going on. Guitars are filling in the rest of it. It's just very powerful what's going on musically, as well as what tends to draw our attention, which is the vocals. We want to sing along to it, or we're just listening to the singer, and when the singer's singing, the music gets forgotten a little bit. And but I highly encourage you, because there's a lot of really cool stuff happening, especially in the moments between vocals as we're getting ready to make the next pass. There's some really cool keyboard licks in there as well. So a lot to unpack, really. It's hard to explain everything and do it with any kind of accuracy because it's different with each pass. And there's just so much energy and so much going on in the song. But that's what makes it what it is.
Sunshine, 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 I found you. Even if you're only destined for a while. Sunshine, 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 I found you. Even if you're only destined for a while.
I do want to point out, too, that this is one of my favorite performances from Lee Kerslake as well. The fills are amazing. The energy he's putting into this, especially in this section, is fantastic. And I love the way he's constantly switching it up in this. He's not just playing a straight beat. He's changing it constantly. Sometimes he's, changing the whether the drums are doubled or played straightforward. Lots of cymbal crashes, some really amazing drum fills. This is, to me, one of his best songs.
Sunshine, 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 I found you. Even if you're only destined for a while. Even if you're only destined for a while.
And it ends with a gentle vocal and some beautiful guitar notes to round it out. Just a great song. I think this would have been a great way to end the album myself. But, Pilgrim was a good way to end it too. It was a very powerful song, great ending. But this would have worked too, I think. But again, as I said earlier, if it goes back to the record companies and how they were strategizing, maximizing releases and albums versus trying to also sell the singles, it would make sense, because if you're a big fan of the band, you're going to buy the album anyway, right? But if you found out that there was a song that wasn't on the album, on the single, you're going to buy the single too, right? Of course you are. why wouldn't you? Hey, you'd feel like you were getting cheated out of a track or whatever. There's something that you wanted to see what it was all about. So from a marketing standpoint, that's probably what happened. I'm just going to give that as a very strong probably. It happened a lot with bands back then. But great song. Certainly would have fit on the album very, very well from a sonic quality as well as everything else. I think it just had a little bit different of a feel in the mix, though, just in the fact of how buried the drums were. But that could be also because the keyboards and guitars were so powerful on this song that it just crunched everything else down. The bass did cut through a little bit. Some of the drum fills cut through pretty nicely, but they were in spots that were a little more open to be able to do that. But overall, yeah, I love this song. It's one I could listen to and will listen to many times throughout the rest of my life. A favorite for sure. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it, especially if this is your first time hearing it. I hope that you love this track as much as I do. And that's it, guys. That's another song and another album. That's it for season 6. Sweet Freedom is done. We will now move on Thursday to Wonderworld, which should be an interesting adventure because it is the first album that we get to that I am not 100% familiar with, whereas all the songs that we've covered so far, except for the bonus tracks, I've known very well. I've been listening to them for so long. But Wonderworld, for some reason, there's a few songs I know on it, but not all of them. So it's going to be interesting when we get to that and see what happens with my reactions. Should be fun. Anyway, have a great day, guys. We'll see you on Thursday. Cheers. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. If you have enjoyed this show, please consider going over to Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast outlet, leaving a rating or a review. Be sure to subscribe to make sure that you are notified when new episodes are available. Please be sure to share this podcast with your fellow Uriah Heep enthusiasts and anyone who you think would like Uriah Heep, which should be everyone. And if you are so inclined, please feel free to contribute to the Patreon account. And if you are not a Patreon subscriber, you can also pay through the PayPal link on the website listed in the show links below. I would also like to thank Uriah Heep for their very generous support of the show, and thank you guys for listening. We'll see you in the next episode. Happy days!